Then you'll have it forever.
A lot of you Joannes and Travis and Arthur Muskegon. Yeah, trying to follow Cat. Did you like that one? Because you can't get trying to follow it. We can go to Pittsburgh. Tell me. That relationship is nice. Well, I was thinking, it didn't last. There was a escape in front of me. I'm like, oh, there's John. Passed him.
As long as she's in it, she'll have it.
Regina. Oh. Good evening. The Monday, June 12th, Common Council meeting is now in session. Our invocation is by the council newly ordained pastor, Amy Holtat-Talon of Hope Ministries, South Bend. Thank you for coming.
You should turn around the other way.
Around the podium, face us.
No.
Your personal self. Go around.
Go 180.
Yeah.
Around the...
Jesse, show her where to go.
Jesse.
Okay, I got it.
This side. No, this side.
Okay. I'm not used to standing in front of a podium.
Well, face us. Go around.
Okay. I should come to council meetings more often. Okay. Okay. Join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, I pray today for our city council members. I pray that you would guide them. I pray that you would give them wisdom and clarity in the decisions that they make and the discussions that they have tonight. I pray for our city that our council members would do all that they could to make it a just and fair place for all of us who live here. And I pray for all of us that we would all work for the peace and prosperity of the city and for its welfare, because its welfare determines all of our welfare. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Ms. Fowler, roll call, please.
Councilmember Preston?
Here.
Councilmember Kelly?
Here.
Councilmember Broughton?
Here.
Councilmember Varner?
Present.
Vice President Davis?
Present.
Councilmember Vorty?
Here.
Councilmember Furlick?
Here.
Councilmember White?
Present.
And President Scott?
Present.
9 present.
Thank you. Report on subcommittee and minutes, please.
To the Common Council of the City of South Bend, the subcommittee has inspected the minutes of the May 22nd, 2017 meeting of the council and found them to be correct. Therefore, we recommend the same be approved.
I'd like to make a motion to receive the report from the subcommittee on minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Special business. Just one quick announcement, actually 2 quick announcements. If you're here for 3217, no, I'm sorry.
Zero.
It is 0917, third reading on the ordinance. Property located 1237 and 1303 Ironwood Drive. That has been continued to 724. So the Ironwood Drive is continued. I also at this time would like to welcome the new council, Bob Palmer, who is joining us. Thank you, Bob. And thank you to Aladine DeRose for her service as interim.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that. Thank you. And at this time, Ms. Fowler, 1727, please.
1727, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, publicly commending and honoring the South Bend Elks Lodge 235 on their 125th anniversary.
Is there a presenter?
Yes, Mr. President. I'm Dr. Oliver Davis, live at 1801 Nash Street, South Bend, Indiana, and I'm glad to be here tonight to give this little proclamation and this award. Can everybody from the Elks please join me? Resolution is official. It's nice when we can take the time to honor our Elks for their 125th anniversary. Exactly today, as we can see what it says, whereas the South Bend Elks Lodge 235 was chartered on June 12, 1892, 125 years ago from today. The first lodge building was located where the South Bend Tribune lunchroom is currently located. And whereas the mission of the Elks is to inculcate the principles of charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity, to recognize the belief in God, to promote the welfare and enhance the happiness of members, to quicken the spirit of American patriotism, to cultivate good fellowship, to perpetuate itself as a good fraternal organization, and provide for its government. And whereas the benevolent and protective order of Elks of the United States of America will serve the people and communities through the benevolent programs demonstrating that the Elks care and Elks share. And whereas the South Bend Elks 235, since its founding, has inducted over 9,000 members, including 7 South Bend mayors, Skylar Colfax, the 17th Vice President of the United States, and University of Notre Dame coach Newt Rockne. And whereas throughout its tenure, the South Bend Elks Lodge 235 has contributed to the betterment of the South Bend community and its residents in innumerable and invaluable ways, including the following projects to name a few. Founding and continuous donor to the Robert E. Miller Veterans Center, rebuilding together of St. Joe County, Christmas in April, supporting local scholarships, presenting sponsors of the Elks International Hoop Shoot Contest, and continuous support of the Indiana and Purdue University Cancer Research Centers, the Hope Rescue Mission, and the Michiana 5 for the Homeless Initiative. Now therefore be resolved by the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana as follows. Section 1. On behalf of the citizens of the City of South Bend, Indiana, the Common Council hereby publicly commends the South Bend Elks Lodge 235 on reaching its 125th anniversary. Section 2. The Common Council wishes the Elks Lodge 235 and all of its members continued growth and prosperity as it begins another year of serving our community. Section 3. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its adoption by the Council and approval by the Mayor. We are glad again to be here. I got a chance to join many of them earlier this year, and so out there and sang a nice song or two. And so, yeah, and so that was great to be with them. And so to celebrate 125 years for all of their service that they've done to our community is truly an honor. And at this time, I'd like for some of the members to come forth and to share your thoughts.
Please state your name and address.
I am Brandon Caudill. I'm the current exalted ruler of the South Bend Elks. I actually live in Mishawaka.
That's fine.
At this
We
time,
allow that.
We're honored that you did this for us. We're glad to be a part of the community and hope to continue to be a strong partnership with the community for years to come. Like I said, we do many volunteer works, and we hope to continue to have the funds and the membership to be able to do that. And we appreciate being allowed to be here this evening. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, take it on away.
My name is Jim Hackett, 809 Patterson Drive in South Bend. I'm a past exalted ruler of the lodge. I'm also the Veteran Services Chairman. Our lodge was one of the very first to come on board with the Judge Robert Miller Veterans Home. We have done quite a bit of help with them. In fact, I think we donated somewhere in the range of about $4,000 to $5,000 per year directly to them. We also participate in considerable Veterans Affairs. We go to the Veterans Home down in West Lafayette 4 times a year to visit with them. And I wanted to thank the Common Council and the City of South Bend for recognizing us for our 125th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Pat Karpinski of South Bend, Indiana. I am an officer at the Elks Lodge, and I am the membership director. And I'd invite all of you to come and join us. See me if they're on an application.
I'll be bringing mine sometime. All righty. Thank you so much. At this time, Mr. President, open up the
At this time, we'll start with council comments. At this time, Ms. White, would you start?
Yes, would like to just say congratulations on 125 years of service, not only to the lodge itself, but also to the South Bend community. It's very wonderful to be able to sit here and to be able to recognize each and every one of you on behalf of the organization in regards to the excellent work that you've done in our community, but also the various projects that you have supported throughout the years. So congratulations, and we wish you another 125 years.
Yeah, congratulations on a really impressive milestone. Thank you.
Thank you for all you've done and all you continue to do. Thanks very much.
Congratulations to you all. Best wishes for another 125 years. And just as a matter of historical perspective, when I graduated from high school, I had dinner with my dad at the old lodge downtown next to the Tribune. It was sort of it was a very grand event to have had dinner there. So I remember it to this day.
And you audibly sighed or had a reaction when you said that, so that was really cool. Thank you so much. Your impressive work in the community is well known, but this amplifies it even more so. Happy anniversary, and thank you very much.
As a young boy, I spent a lot of time swimming with the Elks and bowling with my mother, which are some of my fondest memories. Thank you so much for all of your work you continue to do.
I was just talking to someone about the really amazing work that so many people do in the community that doesn't often get this kind of recognition, but it's certainly appropriate at this time, at this amazing milestone, to say thank you, to lift up all the wonderful things that you do, and just let you know how much we really appreciate all the support that you've given. It's organizations like you, like yours, that really make this city what it is today. So thank you so much, and I plan on, don't be surprised when I come down for a membership application too, all right? Okay, good.
Thank you all for what you've done. It's truly an honor for us to recognize you. I think this is what's wonderful about this city and this council is we bring all walks of lives in and honor them in what they do, in their accomplishments. My dad, I'm a transplant from St. Louis. My dad was an Elk there. I spent many times running around the Elks Club in St. Louis. So it's truly an honor. I appreciate everything that you guys do. So I will open it up to the public now. Anybody from the public wishing to come and speak in favor, please come to the podium now. Seeing none, I dare anybody to come and speak against, but you're allowed to. Seeing none, turn it back to the council.
I move for the resolution 1727 be adopted by acclamation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you all.
Congratulations.
working that membership. I love it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you so much. Congratulations. You're welcome.
Great to see you.
Thanks for Margaret. Congratulations so much, Rob. Thank you so much.
Just a go.
I'm just ready to do that. Well, hey, we're going for a record today, right?
Regina, you read that?
I'll read fast.
Oh!
I left the others. Oh, sorry. Okay, right on.
Thank you, Vice President Davis. Ms. Fowler, would you please read 1733?
1733, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, publicly congratulating Miss Indonesia, Indy Brown, a John Adams High School student, for her accomplishments and her selection by Mayor Buttigieg as the 2017 South Bend Merit Award winner for Scouting.
Thank you. Is there a presenter?
That would be me. My name is Regina Williams-Preston. I live at 838 North Elmer Street. I want to thank you for this opportunity to present to you this phenomenal young woman, an opportunity to honor one of our young people in this community doing such great work, being a model for all of us. And so it reads, whereas Miss Indonesia, Indy Brown, is a junior at John Adams High School and was recently selected by Mayor Pete Buttigieg as the 2017 winner of the South Bend Mayor's Award for Scouting, presented to Indy Brown at the Mayor's Luncheon for Scouting on May 3rd, 2017, sponsored by the LaSalle Council of Boy Scouts of America. This regional event honors one resident from each of the cities of Elkhart, Mishawaka, Plymouth, and South Bend, selected by their mayor, who quietly serves their respective community without expecting or receiving reward or recognition. And whereas Indy Brown is a dedicated, highly involved student at John Adams High School who participates in mock trial, sports team management, marching, jazz, and pep bands, the John Adams Volunteer Association, the Anti-Violence, Anti-Bullying program known as Take 10, and Innovative Thinkers, where she is a facilitator. She is also a dedicated actor, participating in Shake Scenes, the youth Shakespeare program sponsored by the University of Notre Dame, and is a member of Notre Dame's TRIO program. And whereas, throughout her years at John Adams High School, Indy has been a Hadari Scholar, and this year was inducted into the National Honor Society. She has served as class officer every year of high school as vice president and treasurer. She has demonstrated further leadership in the greater South Bend community by participating in the South Bend's Youth Neighborhood Leadership Council, which has brainstormed, proposed, and implemented the Kelly Park project for the betterment of that area's community. And whereas the motto of Indy Brown is to give my 100% effort at all times and to always look back and see what I can improve on and engage others to do the same. And whereas what separates Indy Brown from others is her natural leadership and her belief that being a leader isn't only leading and helping others, but taking advice from others on how to improve oneself. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana as follows. Section 1. The South Bend Common Council proudly recognizes Indonesia Brown for her receipt of the 2017 South Bend Mayor Scouting Award, along with her many other notable accomplishments. And the council wishes her all the best as she continues to pursue and achieve her future goals and dreams. And I'd like to invite any members of her family or friends here who would like to come up and speak.
He's the mayor. Sir, please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Dr. Kenny Spells of South Bend, Indiana. I'm the superintendent of South Bend School Corporation, and I am so proud today to be here to recognize Indonesia Brown. This is a favorite part of my job, recognizing students. Graduation and recognizing students. I just want to share a few things about Indonesia, a rising senior at John Adams High School, 3.8467 grade point average. She's an IB student, mock trial state participant, Best Witness Award winner at the Regional Mock Trial Competition, member of the Mayor's Youth Task Force, member of the John Adams High School Drug and Alcohol Prevention Program, member of the John Adams High School Band, student body president, and a member of Team South Bend.
Amen.
So thank you for recognizing one of our students.
All right.
Since I'm the leader of the Brown clan,
And your address, sir?
Samuel Brown,
She's all emotional. You got to give him
City of South Bend.
Proud Papa.
I would just like to thank the Mayor, Pete Buttigieg, Ms. Sherry, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, Sherry Pete of the Mayor's office for chairing the Youth Task Force. It means a lot to these young leaders. I'd like to thank the Common Council, all the people who signed the resolution, and especially Ms. Eugenia Preston. I'd like to thank Aladina Rose, who diligently worked very hard on writing the resolution. I'd really like to thank her so much for that. She was very kind. I'd like to thank Dr. Kim Spell for coming forth on a day like this, because it means a lot, not only to the Brown family, but it means a lot to Indy, because she is the upcoming leader. And the good book says, much is given, and much is required. And I hope that Indy understands that. She really works hard, but I want to say this before I give the program over to her mother. The person that don't get no credit for keeping this family together, and when Indy and any of the kids need a helping hand, is the grandmother, Lucy Brown. Because she's the one within all of us. And I'm not really just saying that, literally, when I'm gone and the mother's gone, Lucy takes care of these kids. And when all of us, Jasmine, myself, we have hard days, and she's the one behind the scenes to keep us all glued and keep our feet on the ground and remind us the most important thing is the family.
Name and address, please.
Good evening, Jasmine Brown, 230 Sadie Street, South Bend, Indiana, 46628. Proud community member, proud neighbor, and also tonight, very, very proud mom. To Indonesia, eagles fly high, not to make others feel inferior, but to reach new heights, soar above the storms and the clouds, and encourage others to look up and soar higher as well. In my house, we have 3 rules we live by. Act as if someone is watching. Remember, someone is always watching, so act as if you want to be remembered. Don't squander the blessings that God gave you, or they will be given to someone who works harder and is more deserving. And lastly, you have a brand name attached to your back. It's not Nike or Reebok or Adidas, it's Brown. Respect it, represent it, and renown it. It's your family name. Honor it with integrity, dedication, leadership, and service. As a parent, you want your child to be better than you. not have or possess more, but achieve more. I watch her put in more hours of work than I do. It's amazing, and it leaves you in wonderment how she gets it all done. Matter of fact, at the beginning of this council meeting, she was sitting with her notebook writing in dates that she had to be at in more events. She's achieved much more than I have done, but she did it quicker and has surpassed what I thought I could ever do. With the odds stacked against her from a single-parent household at a poverty level and being a minority woman, she still manages to rise above it all through her actions, goals, and pure thirst for success. Her intelligence is bountiful, her character is undiminished, and her class is superior. With her hopes to be President of the United States one day, I am so thankful for the leaders that she has in her life to guide her in the right ways. Mayor Pete, Sherry Pete, Regina Preston, thank you. Aldina Del Rose, I thank you as well. I thank my parents, most importantly, because I wouldn't be able to do it without them behind my back, pushing me as well. To Indonesia, I'm so proud of you. I don't even know what to say. I only wish I could be half the person as you one day. Thank you for all your hard work that you put into Ernest, and I love you.
I'm going to lighten this up a little bit. My name is Lucy Brown, 222 East Navarre, South End. I was there the day this child was born, and she came out looking around like, what are you people looking at? And she's been on the move ever since. She's been a pleasure to raise. And everything Jasmine was, 0.2. You know, I mean, and she just did it sooner. And God has blessed me and let me raise Jasmine again in raising her. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank you. I'm sorry, one thing that was really funny about tonight, she didn't know she was getting this.
Oh,
and as people came up and said, congratulations, she's like, okay. Okay. She just didn't get it. You know, but that's the way the Brown family rolls.
I just wanted to clarify, yes, before I was given this award, I thought my grandpa was receiving an award. Yes, so earlier today I was leaving football practice, going home, getting dressed, thinking my grandpa was going to receive an award, and then all of a sudden they're all looking at me, and I'm so confused. They say, you didn't read the gigantic board that has your name right there? And well, this is just great, and I want to thank you all for presenting me with this award.
Miss,
So
one
thank you.
thing.
Yes.
Your name and address for the record.
Indonesia Brown, 230 Sadie Street, South Bend, Indiana, and I will always be a member of Team South Bend.
At this time, hold on. We're not quite done yet. At this time, we'll turn it back to council. We'll start with Mr. Kelly.
Indy, wow. Best witness region, by the way. That's big. That resolution would have been a lot shorter had maybe listed things that you don't do. Except I think it would have been empty. So I'm so impressed with the work you've done. And it really is about, I mean, it just shows your commitment to the work. And that's so impressive to me. Congratulations. It's so well deserved. Thank you for doing what you do.
Congratulations to you. You overlap our children, and I see you literally everywhere at Adams in every setting. And the really cool thing, just, you know, from the get-go, right from the start, you don't just show up. I mean, you're in deep, you're committed, and it's really obvious. So I'm going to thank you for your, and I'm going to disagree with your grandpa for a minute, if I might. He referenced an upcoming leader. No, you are a leader. Embrace it. And no one needs to tell you that, because it's all over. You see it. Everybody sees it around you. So I want to thank you for your leadership among your classmates and within our community. And just great things ahead. So looking forward to hearing about all of your accomplishments ahead, and just great work. So congratulations, and to you and your family as well.
Wow. I'm not sure there's anything I could add to that, although I would ask that with all your successes, what I see is a very successful young lady who's had great guidance all around. If you can take that and keep that in mind, you'll be fine. Keep it up. Keep parenting her. She'll need it for a few more years. But you always know you have someplace to go when you have a question. So congratulations.
Vice President Davis.
The words that come to my mind remind me of my grandmother when they were talking about remember your roots.
and the fact that you were born rich. And you look at your grandparents, you look at your mother, you look at your family, you look at the superintendent here is here to honor you and the teachers, and it's amazing because your roots go deep. Your brown roots go deep, like Mom was talking about, you're brown. And when you remember your roots, it helps you to be able to be strong no matter what the situations going in your life. The stronger the roots, the better the tree. And so that's the way I look at it with you. Continue to do well, continue to soar like an eagle, the Adam's eagle, and may God bless you.
We can all feel good about the future of this community when we hear about and honor people like you who have made a commitment to everything you've done. And congratulations also to Mrs. Brown and the Brown family for supporting this remarkable young lady. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, and excited to see what you're going to do in the future.
I guess I don't know where to start. I'm very emotional at this point because it speaks to the great work that individuals have poured into you from your mother, your grandparents, and the quality of education that you have received from the South Bend Community School Corporation. I can't underscore that because as you begin to look that you're a member of Team South Bend, and you have a responsibility to make sure that others that come after you, that they understand the importance of education, the importance of being involved, but also as your mother has shared with us, she has instilled in you why you must do what you do, and also the value of giving back to this community. I met you about a year ago when our sorority and Indiana University, when we launched Using Our Voices. And you were on the high school panel, and we had about 6 college students, and you held your own. And I've never been so proud of you. And then when we repeated that panel, when we were asked to be part of the Martin Luther King citywide celebration, you were on that panel. And even when your grandfather came to the podium to ask us a question, you held your own. So we're very proud of you. Continue to move forward, and always remember that you're part of Team South Bend. Thank you so much. And thank Dr. Spells for coming and to being part of this presentation as well.
So Indy, one of the disadvantages of being president is I don't get to say all these nice things like everybody else. So they already did it for me. I mean, absolutely wonderful, but it's amazing that the foundation that you have, not everybody has that. So remember that, always pass on. And I think you know that. And just amazing, what a bright star within this family. So thank you so much for what you've done and what you're going to do. And remember everybody else around you and help those that are around you too. There are small kids that are going to be looking up to you and pass on that knowledge. The other thing is, the beautiful thing about these resolutions is the city's been around since 1865. You are now part of history. You are in the record books for this history. And you, your kids, your grandkids, your great-great-grandkids can all look this up and see what you've done and how you've been honored. So thank you so much. Right now, we're going to open it up to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak in favor, please come to the podium.
There he comes.
Jesse Davis, P.O. Box 10205, South Bend, Indiana. I've known her grandpa Sam for several years, Jasmine as well, her mother. I see a lot of the amazing things that their family does just via social media and Facebook. I also went over one day and Jasmine and her son were out cleaning out a garage that most men wouldn't even tackle. So all I can say is I'm proud of all of them, and I know that they instill all the goodness and the love and the caring that they can, and they make these kids work and understand that you have to work for what you want in life. And to also give back to the community is an amazing thing. So congratulations to you, young lady.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anybody wishing to cross the Brown family to speak against? Seeing none, we'll turn it back to council.
Motion to adopt by acclamation.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passed.
Where are you going to go to college?
I went to Notre Dame.
All right, I like it.
Nice choice.
Never met.
I can do it too. All right,
Congratulations. I don't think you're that. I'm Joe.
Go take that picture, Regina, over there.
Congratulations.
My top two choices. I love your shirt, Regina. You too. Get that picture. Can you get that picture of her, Regina?
Thank you all. Quick pick.
Oh, you said you were talking.
Is this the Facebook?
Huh?
Is this the Facebook camera? What is that?
I have no idea what that is. We don't have a Facebook camera. Yeah.
Thank you all.
That's just too.
Okay. We'll move on with council business. At this time, there is no report from city offices. We are represented by the mayor's office, Susanna Fritzberg, and Angela Coders? Carter. Cowder. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to rise the committee of the whole.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
The committee of the whole is now in session. This is the portion of the council meeting where the full council meets as a committee. During each ordinance, members of the public will have an opportunity to either speak in favor or opposition. Your comments per bill will be limited to 5 minutes. With that, could I entertain a motion to continue 9:17?
So moved.
Second.
What's the...
2/7/24.
There it is. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. City Clerk, would you please read 3217?
3217, public hearing on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, authorizing the City of South Bend, Indiana to issue its taxable economic development revenue bonds series 2017 Studebaker project and approving and authorizing other actions in respect thereto.
Is there a committee report? Ah, yes, community investment participants. Is there a presenter? Please state your name and address.
James Mueller, Executive Director of Community Investment with offices on the 14th floor of this building. It's an exciting day for the Renaissance District. This is the final stop to unlock financing for the transformation of the facade of Building 84, which is a fixture of our downtown. This is the final piece of the economic development agreement that the city entered into back in 2012. Since then, the developer has met and exceeded the time frame for investing his promised $10 million into the area. And at this time, this is the last piece of $3.5 million of River West TIF dollars to go into the project to be matched by $3.5 million of regional cities dollars, and then the remainder being the private investment. And part of the agreement was to increase the number of good-paying jobs to 130 from 40, and as I said before, there's $1 million investment. Any questions? developer is here if you have any questions for him.
Any questions from council for petitioner or developer? Seeing none, we'll move to the public portion. Anyone from the public wishing to speak in favor? And please state your name and address, and your comments are limited to 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Gavin. My name is Luke Pierce. I live at 16800 Hidden Valley Drive in Granger. I grew up in South Bend, and I do represent Kevin, so my company does, but I wanted to tell everybody how excited I am about this moment. Like most people in this room, I grew up post-1963 and have only experienced 50 years of industrial revolution decline in the city of South Bend. And as there's no surprise to anyone in this room, we've lost 25% of our population in the city since that time. So what's happening in the Renaissance District, 1,200 acres, surrounding the former Studebaker campus, is really exciting. And the fact that you're releasing funds tonight to improve this facade, to transform this facade, and the fact that Mr. Smith is working with one of the best architects in the world to make this happen is really exciting to me personally. My company does a lot of work in terms of regionalism with 22 different cities in 3 different counties, and now up in Michigan too. But I have to say, I'm here to confess tonight, this is the city I care the most about. And I think we can start reversing that trend now. This is key to it. And this may surprise people, but next time you're driving from Chicago back into South Bend, take a good look at the skyline. You're probably used to seeing the Golden Dome and the Chase Building a few miles out. But if you really look hard, it shouldn't be that hard. The biggest thing on the horizon is Building 84. It's the largest building in northern Indiana. But we've all learned to blot it out because it's a blight. A year from today, it will be a beacon. And it will be bringing entrepreneurs, inventors, investors, just transforming the way this giant building looks. It's a 100-year-old building. It's fascinating that we had a groundbreaking there last year. The gentleman who's now the Vice President of the United States, Democrats and Republicans there giving speeches. I'm just really excited about this. I wish it would have happened 30 years ago. But I think Mr. Smith is going to come up here and tell you that, believe it or not, this is such a vast campus. It's hard to see all the activity that's going on. But much of this space is spoken for already. And that's really exciting. So I just wanted to convey my personal excitement, knowing what's going on, and confess this is the city that I care the most about. And let you know that I'm all in on this too, and I really appreciate the commitment you made back in 2012, what the mayor's doing, and what you're going to do tonight. So thank you very much.
Anyone else from the public wishing to speak in favor?
Kevin Smith, 635 South Lafayette. One, I wanted to thank you for your support. This is a large project, and it's taken a good deal of effort on everybody's behalf to bring it to this point. The good news is really the hard, strenuous work's done. The fun things are still, there's going to take some work. But with this facade, it'll help the community believe in itself again. It'll help transform some of the most eroded portions of our community, and I'm expecting that we'll take and lift them up and provide the jobs that were lost. And my personal goal, I want to exceed the jobs that were lost at Studebaker and put us on the position to lead in the 21st century. So I appreciate everybody's support on this. And there's a lot of work to do, but as you know, I had the Studebaker, the Union Station, in 1979. So believe it or not, I've watched a lot of transformations from that time forward. And so I've watched this building since 79 because it did loom. The Union Station's 100,000 square feet. This building imposed itself on the Union Station. But I never forgot, and I knew sooner or later that I was going to change that around. So I appreciate you giving me that opportunity.
Seeing no one else in favor, is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Seeing no one, back to the council. What's your pleasure?
Move to send 3217 to the full council favorable.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. With that, I will entertain a motion to rise and resolve from the committee of the whole.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? The motion carries.
Full council is now back in session. Ms. Fowler, would you please give third reading to 3217?
3217, third reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, authorizing the City of South Bend, Indiana, to issue its taxable economic development revenue bonds, Series 2017, Studebaker Project, and approving and authorizing other actions in respect thereto.
Motion for passage?
Second.
Ms. Fowler.
Councilmember Broughton.
Aye.
Councilmember Varner.
Aye.
Vice President Davis.
Aye.
Councilmember Vorty.
Aye.
Councilmember Furlick.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Preston.
Aye.
Councilmember Kelly.
Aye.
President Scott.
Aye.
9 ayes.
Thank you. Resolutions. 1726. Ms. Fowler.
1726, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, strongly endorsing and recommending implementation of a pilot employment program to reduce panhandling within the City of South Bend and for an appropriation in the 2018 city budget.
Motion to accept the substitute?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Is there a committee report?
Yes, the Personnel and Finance Committee held a committee meeting and public hearing on Bill 17-26, which has been amended, and we send this to the council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Is there a presenter?
Yes, good evening. My name is Oliver Davis, District 6 councilperson, 1801 Nash Street, South Bend, Indiana, 46613. Good to be here tonight to present this resolution to you tonight. Prior to sharing anything, I'd also like to thank the other sponsors, Ms. Karen L. White, Mr. John Vorty, and Ms. Regina Preston, for all joining in as we work to spearhead this whole initiative here in the city of South Bend. As we see every day walking all around our city, we see people who are panhandling, some who are homeless, some who have homes, some who have apartments. But as we have looked at what is going on across the country, since there's a lot of legislation that is overturning a lot of the laws that prevented cities and municipalities and others, government units, from outlawing panhandling, the question became what to do. And so in the city of Albuquerque and others in Portland, Maine, and many others are now looking at what Albuquerque and what others have done. As we will look at part of our presentation tonight, we'll look at that tonight, and then we'll go ahead and start. Yes. If you This is where our pilot program is based off of.
Piece by piece, Peter LaRoche is putting his life back together.
It's going good so far.
Cleaning up parks in Portland, Maine. 6 hours a day, 2 days a week.
I don't mind it at all. It's better than what I was doing.
Earning his money instead of begging for it.
I was homeless for like 2 years, not on the good path. And like something clicked in me. I said I had to do better.
Peter has gone from panhandler to Portland employee, the first to sign up for the city's Opportunity Crew.
They're on time, they work hard, and just a positive attitude.
It's a pilot program that hires panhandlers and pays minimum wage.
Really trying to break down the barriers to get folks on a path to self-sufficiency.
The city has tried everything from banning aggressive panhandling to prohibiting loitering in medians, but panhandling persisted. So instead of banning them, Portland is recruiting them.
But we really want to promote employment.
To get the word out, city employees have been coming to medians like this one, meeting panhandlers where they are and recruiting them for this new program.
I hate asking people for money.
The idea sounds good to Brian Wood. Looking for work is the first line on his side.
have a wife.
He says disability may keep him from doing the labor, but he likes seeing friends like Peter
What's the matter?
get a hand up instead of a handout.
I like this a lot better than panhandling.
In Portland, Maine, Danielle Wong, NECN.
What's going on, man? You want to work? Huh? Meet me on this side. Okay. My name is William Cole. I do security and I'm the van driver for Better Way program for St. Martin's. Making a first stop here to pick up some of our hopeful employees. How you guys doing today?
This was actually the mayor's idea. And he reached out to us with this idea of what would happen if we sent a van around to people who are panhandling and gave them an opportunity to work for a day, be paid for a day, and get support services.
How you doing this morning? My name is Will, and we do the Better Way program. What we do is we offer $9 an hour for a day's work, and we pay you cash at the end of the day. Would you be interested?
Well, I thought it was the city coming to tell me I needed to get off the highway first. I had a 3-bedroom house, I had my kids, I had everything in the world going for me, and I had anxiety, and I just started pulling my hair out, and I knew I was going to lose everything, and I did.
All right, let's get it going. How are you today? Everything's good? How are you, ma'am?
Often we talk about employment, we use one model. It's called full-time employment, 40-hour a week, it fits everybody, and it doesn't. If you're dealing with mental health issues, often working 1 or 3 days a week is all you can do.
All right, we need a couple of shovels, a couple of heavy bricks. We give them an opportunity to work 5.5 hours a day for $9 an hour cash. We get rid of at least 1 to 2 tons of weeds and litter at each spot, and we offer them services afterwards. I'm not the type of person that really likes to ask people for money. I'd rather earn it. All I need is that one shot, and I'm not going to mess it up. Not me.
I go around cleaning up anyways, just for free, because it's like the world's dirty place, and so I like cleaning up. I miss cleaning my house, so I don't have a house to clean anymore.
This particular program has lots of small, instantaneous goals of getting people off a street corner. And I know that the mayor would echo this. Nobody survives well panhandling on a street corner.
In a lot of the neighborhoods, we get people that come out and they really appreciate the beautification work that we're doing in their neighborhoods. Overall, I think this is a better way for people to get money into their pockets other than panhandling.
Something happens when you get cash in your pocket. You feel a little taller, you feel a little bigger, you feel a little bit more in control of your life. It's kind of a small miracle.
What we're saying to folks is there's a better way. There's a better way than standing on a street corner asking for money. There's a better way than handing $5 out of your window. The better way is to give people the dignity of work, let them beautify their city, and get them connected to services so they can get back on their feet. It's just simple enough. It's working.
These 2 videos, along with the other video you saw this afternoon, just highlight many of the videos that are out there and articles that are out there showing what, first of all, the program in Albuquerque, New Mexico, how they were put together. From that situation sprung the program in Portland, Maine, and then others are now patterning programs similar to a Better Way program. As you saw here in the program, this last video showed a program that's working along with the city to really go out and do it. It's not the city doing it by itself like Dr. Varner talked about earlier. It's somebody going out and working along providing services with it. And this is just a spark that comes together for us as the city saying that we care. We have a responsibility to ignite that whole movement so we can take care of all of our citizens here in the city of South Bend. I would like at this time, before I proceed, to just have hear from the other sponsors, and then we'll start with Ms. Regina Preston, something that really sparked them of why they believed that this was important for them to sign on to this. Ms. Preston, Mr. Vorty, and Mrs. White.
Thank you. I think am I still new? I don't know. I'm running out of the new card. I'm still working on it. Well, in any case, in my long tenure, I think one of the things that excites me most about being in this role is the opportunity, honestly, to help people. And, you know, you hear me talk about it all the time, you know, in the neighborhoods that I grew up, where I'm living now, we have a lot of folks who are struggling. And so it's really exciting. I know that there's a lot of people doing a lot of different things, most specifically around this issue of homelessness and need in our community. But I think that this is something that's very specific, that's really important. So I thank you, Councilman Davis, for bringing this specific issue to the fore around panhandling, most specifically. I think it's something that's really going to help our community, help people feel safe, help people get a hand up, as the video talked about, rather than just a handout, and give people dignity in a space when they're really struggling. So thank you, I appreciate it, and I'm so glad to be able to sign on to this resolution.
Thank you.
Yeah, this, I think, was a resolution that was pretty easy to support, not because of its any particular specificity about money or particular program that might be seen as an answer. It's a complex problem that is going to require some complex solutions. I think more importantly was a signal on the part of the council to the administration that as the 2018 budget is crafted, that we hope it's done collaboratively and in the spirit of helping people, that it be quality of life focused. That's a term that you've heard for a number of years, specifically from Karen and Tim. And I hope that for all the good that's been done the last couple of years, that we can focus in on things that are neighborhood and people oriented in the 2018 budget. And I think this is sort of a clarion call that we'd like to see that happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to say too that, you know, I did not have any hesitation in becoming a co-sponsor. I do appreciate your willingness as a sponsor of this particular resolution to really accept the amendment as we move forward. Clearly, during the committee discussions, we realized that this is just a small piece as we look at the bigger picture in terms of how do we discuss those quality of life issues that not only impacts individuals, but also the city as a large. We do know that we have to have partnerships, we have to collaborate, but again, this is a very clear piece that could be part and should be part of a larger picture as we move forward. So again, I appreciate you bringing forth this particular resolution, and it was a pleasure to be a co-sponsor.
You know, we learned a lot, and I really hope that the other cities and government entities, such as City of Mishawaka, St. Joe County, where I believe a lot of the resources should come. We have a county health department, a county mental health. Like I said, being a licensed social worker myself, many of these kind of services were done in the past when Madison Center was here, but when they died, we had Oakland that picked up some parts and Memorial Health picked up others, but we've had gaps in the system ever since. And so this helps us to really encourage those in the community who are already doing things. We heard today from downtown South Bend, they already have a program that they talked about that we can tie in. So hopefully when we get to the whole budget, we will be that all culminate into one big kind of activity that shows the aggressive nature that some people have said the panhandlers come at them. We can be even more aggressive as a city to come together, to work together, to be able to work with all people, whatever side of the streets, whether they're up on the Angela side, by there Notre Dame, whether they're down here, south side, east side, north side, because they're all over town. And like one person shared with me before I close, what did I learn in this process? And I said, when you work with panhandlers, they're not panhandlers. There's Karen, there's Bob, there's Oliver, there's whatever. They all have names. And when everybody refers to them as a name, that name of a person, Cindy has a mom. She has a daughter. One of my colleagues told me about the fact that her mother was a panhandler, and she was raised in a home where a mother panhandler her sisters out there. For her, that's her mom. She said people get mad at her for stopping, and giving money. But she said, my mom raised me like this. Now I'm a teacher. See, who would have expected I would have come from a home where mom did this to feed us? And when she saw us doing it, for her, that was personal, because that was mom and that's her family. If they just a panhandler, we don't worry about them in the budget. I challenged the administration. I'm glad we kind of took that out to 25. We may have to put 50,000 in there, maybe 75, maybe 100,000. I don't know what they're going to find out this summer, what they're going to find. But it may be more. One city got 50,000, another got 25. So I'm glad we didn't limit them. In their study of working with people and talking to the agencies and looking at all these different places, they may be able to get funders, private dollars, whatever. We just heard from the Elks Club how they donated to the Millers program there. There are many other kind of fraternities and sororities and other kind of groups that can come together, can be asked and have public-private partnerships that are already doing things, and we can do that. That's why I think it is that clarion call for us that say the city of South Bend is taking note. Other cities like Fort Wayne called me today and said they're looking at it, and just like we are looking at them, other cities are looking at us tonight. And maybe we make that stand to encourage not only us here in South Bend, but other cities across the state of Indiana and across this nation to take time to make sure that every person is looked out for. So I thank Aladdin. I thank all of you all who put your legal work into this, and hear from the other council members, and then I'm done for the presentation, sir.
Is that the end of your presentation?
Pardon?
Is that the end of your presentation?
I'm good, yes.
Good. Any questions from council this time? We'll do comments at the end. We'll open up to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak in favor, please come to the podium. I'll ask Dr. Barner. You have 5 minutes.
Jesse Davis, P.O. Box 10205, South Bend, Indiana. I think this is a good step in the right direction. I read the article in the newspaper and obviously put my comments on social media about putting this off and needing to think it through. You always get pushback from somebody. I was a big part of the tent city under the Main Street Bridge last fall. And at one point in time, there was probably 50 people living in tents under that bridge with winter approaching. Fortunately, the right people got together and we got the winter amnesty thing open. That was a small, quick fix. Got them off the streets, got them out of the cold. Most of the panhandlers that you guys see standing on the street corners, most of them aren't the homeless people. Most of them have a place to go. I know most of those homeless people on a personal level. I still go back in the woods to the tent cities that still exist and take food to them occasionally, and water, clothes, whatever they need. They're scattered all over town now. They're not in one place. But it brought a big awareness to a serious problem that most of the homeless people that were under the bridge would never pick a sign up. There was 3 of them that I'm aware of out of roughly 50 that I ever saw standing on the corner. But the people that are standing on the corners, they too are in need. I know several of them personally that panhandle. There's one guy, they call him Panchi. He's been around forever. I've known him for probably 12 years. He lives in Mishawaka, about a block from me. And he's one of the little guys that stands on Ironwood and has a little minivan there. And everybody says, hey, he's got a vehicle, and we see him go to an apartment. Well, guess what? He's on Social Security. He's disabled, and he can't make ends meet. And there aren't enough programs out there to help them. Then we got drug issues, man. A lot of them are feeding drug habits. The Tucci, which is the street name for synthetic marijuana problem, is unbelievable here. The only time that we heard anything in our news media about that really was when our mayor was out for Martin Luther King Day or something, and 3 kids fell out on the sidewalk in front of him. And boy, it was a big deal. But it's not a big deal when ambulances were down there under Main Street Bridge 50, 60 times over the summer picking the homeless people up who are doing this drug. This drug is cheap. There's people out there pushing it to them. There's drug houses that are known. But guess what? Our police, their hands are tied, or so we're told. It doesn't test as a drug, so therefore we can't do anything about it.
Back to the ordinance.
So, now this all has to do with it. This is why these people are on the streets. So it's a huge problem, a huge picture. It's multifaceted with mental health, drug addiction problems. We need to address all of them, but I think this is a step in the right direction. And I think we need to do this now and not wait and see what happens in the fall when budget time comes, because then when the budget time comes, guess what? I'm going to be sitting here. People that are out there that we're talking about, they're all human beings, man. They're just down on their luck, and something's happened in their life that put them where they're at.
Thank you, sir. Next, name and address.
Jason Benicki Critchlow, 3822 West 4th Street. This is kind of an easy ordinance to support, or resolution, I guess, not an ordinance. You know, while I'm in between jobs right now, I'm driving a lot of Uber, a lot of Lyft to pay my bills, and I see a lot of this city, and I see corners of this city that I haven't seen in a long time, and I see a lot of good things, and I see a lot of things that need attention and focus. And I obviously see a lot of panhandlers at a lot of intersections that hopefully we wish they weren't there. You know, when you have them, you're out there on Maine and Ireland, or Michigan and Ireland, and they're at every single point to the intersection, walking up and down the medians all day long. That's not safe for anybody. It's probably not the impression we want to make to people coming into our city right as they first breach the city limits. So this is obviously a good first step. We also know we have some programs coming online with the new homeless housing project over there just off of Indiana Street. You know, that will come with additional resources for support. We know the Center for the Homeless has some resources that we can tap into. You know, again, the money doesn't necessarily have to come from the city, but it's a good start to prime the pump. To say, hey, look, let's get this program off the ground, let's get it going, and see what, then you can develop, you know, fundraising channels, you can develop public-private partnerships. But as I always like to say, don't let perfection be the enemy of progress. And unfortunately, it seems that our 14th floor wants to study another issue to death, waste hundreds of thousands of dollars, instead of saying, hey, let's take some action. Let's see what this can do. Let's be the research and the development for our own city and see how it impacts our city and the people in our city. So let's get some progress made on this. Let's not wait for perfection. Let's not wait for studies. You know, did we hand out raises to individuals last year that were higher than this total amount because they're the best and the brightest and they need to be here and this is what it takes to retain them? Well, then let's put those best and the brightest and challenge them and put their brains to work as well as the rest of everybody else's, and quit outsourcing all this thinking and all this researching. Let's get a program off the ground. Let's help people. Let's get them out, get them to work, and who knows? Guess what? After 2 years of ideas with the vacant lots, hey, maybe we could put some of these people together, cutting down some grass in the vacant lots, weeding some lots so we don't have to, you know, tack on unnecessarily high fines that didn't work. Or try and bid out the projects that obviously hasn't worked. Let's try a third solution, and let's put the panhandlers to work and take care of that. So thank you.
Thank you. Next, name and address, please.
My name is Whitney Humphrey. My address is 3106 Red Maple Court, Apartment 9Z, South Bend, Indiana, 46628.
Just a little louder. The black thing is the microphone, so.
Whitney Humphrey, 3106 Red Maple Court.
We got that. I just, as you continue. Okay.
As a resident of South Bend, I agree with the pilot program, but however, I feel that the city of South Bend can do better by operating a better program for these panhandlers, because I'm also the curator of South Bend Panhandling, and when I started the program, I wasn't trying to picket them or nothing. I just wanted it to stop, because some of these panhandlers claiming that they're homeless, they have no this, none of that, but they do have homes, they do have nice cars, and to me, that's like scamming our city. And my thing is, if they're able to scam our city and say and make false claims of what they do and don't have, then I feel that they should be ticketed and basically pay off the tickets that don't get paid today. And on top of that, you know, I'm all for the pilot program as well, but I feel that our city can just do better by just trying to get the panhandling program to stop, or make them pay a fine or get a license to do this or something, because it's getting out of hand. I've seen and witnessed too many drug overdose deaths. I've seen children get killed because they're out there panhandling with their parents, and it's just gotten out of hand. And it needs to stop, or something needs to be done. This should have been done years ago, but apparently it's like it's been dragged like it's not a big deal. And me as a resident, I'm a mom. My daughter doesn't need to be seeing this every day when she gets home from school. She shouldn't live in fear like, oh God, Mom, they're getting irate. And a couple of panhandlers have actually came at me and physically attacked me, and also they broke into my sister's car yesterday. So this is the kind of issue that needs to be tackled, needs to be done like now. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, name and address, please. Speaking for.
Sharon Benicki, 3822 Ford Street. I like the program. I know it's got its faults, its holes, but don't let that stop it. Don't get hung up in the details. Just keep moving forward. Last fall with Tent City under the bridge, everybody was up in arms. We got to do something. Once they were out of sight, it was like out of mind. The mayor put together a group of 22 people to deal with the homeless. And I don't know that anybody has any updates on what they're doing, where they're doing it, how they're doing it. Oliver, puts out the press release. We need to put money in the budget to end the panhandling, and all of a sudden the mayor's back up in arms again, and it's back in priority. Do whatever it takes to give the people that want another opportunity a decent way to earn money, and keep them off the corners. My brother has seen panhandlers take glass bottles and throw them at cars. Didn't hit the cars, but then it shatters all over the streets, and this was at Michigan and Ireland. I've been chased by a panhandler downtown on my lunch hour. And even today, I was out, smoking 15 feet away from the door, and I had a gentleman come up, and within 45 seconds I knew he was rehabbed for meth, coke, marijuana, and had given up smoking and alcohol, and now was on to vaping. And did I want to hit off his vape thing? No, but so they are here, and they're not going anywhere. We need to give them the resources and give them places to be and honest ways to do it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of 1726, please come to the podium. Seeing none, anyone wishing to speak against 1726, please come to the podium. Seeing none, turn back to council for comment.
Just going right down. I'd like to volunteer District 2, as Mr. Benicki Critchlow pointed out. Be a great place to start with helping out code enforcement. Let's get those lots cut. But one thing I do want to say about, we did do a substitute. We changed the title a little bit, and we added the word in there, if you'll notice, panhandling and poverty. Looking to reduce panhandling and poverty. And I just wanted to underscore that, poverty is a really big thing. It broadens, the scope. A program like this, I think obviously I'm absolutely for it. I want to caution us to make sure that we're not just kind of putting a Band-Aid on things and saying, oh, this is the program that's going to handle poverty in our city. And I want to make sure that we keep that kind of laser focus so we don't dilute the program. So just a word of caution and something to keep in mind as we move forward with this terrific resolution. Thank you.
Great. Mr. Kelly? No? Mr. Roden?
Sure, yeah, just a couple things. So we all know there's a problem, and I guess I even want to X that word problem out. I think there's a consensus. We hear about it from our constituents. We share it amongst each other. I would like to X out the word problem, though, but I want folks to follow me on this. There is an opportunity here, and I want to thank the sponsors of the bill for recognizing that, and other members on the council. There is an opportunity, but we haven't defined the opportunity. So the who, what, where, when, why. All of those components, all the questions, the answers to those, that's where the really hard work begins. So if this is an opportunity for us as a council representing our citizens within our districts and some at-large members, of course, with larger than district responsibilities, if this is launching that deeper and wider conversation, I can be very supportive of that. I do want to recognize, though, some of the, well, maybe stating the obvious is the complexity of, tackling underemployment, and all the underlying issues or no employment within our community. And I don't think anyone, next to be in any direction doesn't understand that complexity, and that it will take not just a good idea in another city and trying to figure out how it tweaks, how we tweak it to make it work here and to launch kind of the best shot at addressing some of these issues. It really will take some hard work. So oftentimes task force and even tonight, they get a bad rap because in other bodies and maybe, in the past we've all been guilty, whether it's, here within the city, within maybe the congregations we belong to or whatever associations, send it to a task force and then it's really just send it somewhere to die. I don't think anybody is going to go in that direction. In fact, we've spent over 6 months, myself involved, and a number of folks from the business community, from the academic community, from our social service network, folks who've been steeped in homelessness issues, our public safety officers who are addressing the panhandling, the homelessness issues, mental health folks. It's been really a broad collective, collaboration of people. So I agree with some of the statements earlier today about, just really the requirement of a broad partnership and not setting us up with, pegging this as a 2018, budget item. I like the changes that the sponsors were willing to accept on this, where we don't put a dollar amount in, because I suspect we're going to blow past that, and that's just based on just the due diligence and the work that's going to be required to actually get us to the point of a framework, of what this potentially could be. So probably some things that none of the sponsors or none of the other council members are supporting this don't know, but I do think as far as the public, a lot of legwork will need to go into this. We do need to define what the issues are and what our challenges are, and so that we know what the best possible shot at a solution could be. If this also helps us continue the conversation that Councilmember Scott has been involved in with Downtown South Bend, and those groups who have been actively dealing with this for some time, whether it's PR initiatives, whether it's signage, whether it's donation boxes, whether indeed it is a day labor program or something even more expansive that actually, weds some services and wraps services around, these individuals, so that we're not just gaining, we're retaining employment. I love the changes that have been made in the amended resolution, and I think that gives us some flexibility within the administration, but actually probably more importantly, it gives us an opportunity to continue the conversations and to get very down deep. I know it's my second time tonight, but to really dig in, because it is a complex issue and it will require quite a bit of legwork prior to launch.
Thank you. Dr. Berner.
Okay. So just keep things in perspective. I know this was a well-intentioned and probably necessary discussion that we're having tonight. I wanted to point out, the same as I did this afternoon, that we looked at examples from Maine and from New Mexico. I don't know what their state laws are with regards to the application of welfare and such. In the state of Indiana, welfare support for families and institutions and things like that is really vested in the counties and the townships. We have county township trustees, we have a county health department, not a city health department. And they have resources and they have levies, for which they collect dollars from the state for just these sorts of things, and then it's expended within the county. So with regards to our efforts, I think it's a nice idea. I think we have to be wise to the fact that the funding and that sort of stuff, there needs to be more funding or access to other funding other than just the city of South Bend in their efforts. I think we should focus on panhandling. When this morphed from a discussion on panhandling to a discussion on poverty, I think you need a task force of thousands to address poverty. I think we can take a look at panhandling within the city, for which we've had legitimate complaints. I mean, I have, I know you all have. I think we could try some things if we want to, and I think we could make some measurements of whether they were successful or not, and report a year from now that this worked and this didn't. If we try to take on poverty as an idea, I think conceptually it's just so far beyond our abilities. I would like to see this directed strictly at panhandling. If we're successful, then maybe we can apply it to some other avenue. But I like the idea of the public is already in support of finding some solutions to panhandling. We don't have to fight that battle. I think that we focus on panhandling. We found a way or a means to an end. Finally, if we embark on something, it's absolutely imperative that it's just not viewed as a city problem or a city issue. I think it has to be viewed as an issue that's going to be dealt with by a combination of people. There are institutions, we have a number of them in this county, that can offer support with regards to research, with regards to health, with regards to financing. I think it has to be a collective effort. I don't think that we have the resources, the time, the manpower to take this upon ourselves as a city only. So, as a best intentioned idea to address an issue such as panhandling, and let's give it our best shot, I'd love to support it. If it morphs into something which is too large, I think we'll lose focus and won't accomplish anything.
Thank you. Mr. Gordy.
Sounds good.
Just a thank you to the sponsors for bringing this to our attention. Thank you.
I said everything.
I just have my comment is I've heard from my colleagues regarding the issue of just laser focusing to panhandling, like Dr. Varner and Ms. Preston just said. I'm willing. I heard our discussion today. I'm open to the concept of us just saying that in our thing. Or do you like to leave it as is? I don't know, because that's what I was trying to figure out. Dr. Varner and Ms. Preston, did you want to just put panhandling only, and then go back to where it was? Or I'm open.
Personally, I'd like to see us focus on something, if that's what we want to do, and attack something that's achievable. I don't think poverty is something that's achievable. It's so vast and so abstract. I think, and let's measure success, and if we're successful, let's talk about it. But
so would we have to do some sort of amendment or something, or can you just?
Oh, hold on. Right now, to me, it's in the eyes of the sponsors. If they want to offer amendment to that.
Would I do that?
Go ahead, Regina.
Go ahead. We can take a
What's
vote.
the language I need?
You said you wanted to strike.
I would move to just simply strike and poverty. And simply just have a focus on panhandling.
You making a motion?
I am making a motion.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So, if I may, point of clarification, you're talking about the word "and poverty"
Yes.
within the caption,
Yes.
the title of the
Right.
substitute. So this would then become a second substitute,
Right.
eliminating those two words. Thank
That's
you.
fine. That addresses to me, Dr. Varner, the laser focus that you wanted to go to, because I agree.
I think it focuses on an issue that's you can look at and you can work at. Everything else is too general.
Okay. I'm at peace with that. I've said everything I need to say. I'm good.
We were in the middle of our motion, so, or the vote on the motion when the point of order came up, so we'll do that again. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. We have the Second Amendment. And, yes,
I was going to make another motion, but I'll wait, and make sure everyone's had opportunity.
I just want to say my comments, and I think we're done. I want to thank the sponsors for this resolution. It is the start of a discussion. And I want to challenge the sponsors of what Ms. Broden said is now the hard work will begin in delving into the details and the nuts and bolts with administration. I think this is a good collaboration. We use that word a lot in 2017, or at least I have. But the other thing is, you got to try something. Now, I don't want to misappropriate funds. I don't want to use money irresponsibly. But I think we have a very smart group from this council, yes, and administration, that we can work this out. We need to try something. There has been a lot of talk, good and bad, on this subject, and that's all it is. It's talk. I am from Missouri, so I do believe in the show me, and I'm not proud, but if we have an issue that it's not working, we repeal it, or we change it, or we improve upon it, and we move on. And I really appreciate the council members that have brought this forward and looking at it. What's the worst we can be? We can be right back where we started. So we look at it, and I think we are very intelligent enough to figure out how to do this and how to fund it. So that's all I have to say. Right now, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt.
Oh, Ms. White had,
Oh,
Was that your motion?
no, you go ahead, I can second. Adopt the second substitute version of Bill 17-26. That's your motion, I accept. I second that motion.
thank you. With that, Ms. Fowler, roll call on 1726.
Second substitute. Aye for the second substitute.
No,
I'd
we
like
already
to-
did that.
Roll call
She
vote.
just made the motion.
Karen, second.
In favor of the second
Second
substitute.
substitute.
Right, that's,
It needs a vote.
So now you need an aye.
All those in
no,
favor?
we accepted the
Yeah.
second substitute. That was the vote
Yeah.
that we just did.
Now-
Previously.
She is making a motion
For the
for us to
adoption.
vote on the finalized second.
And the finalized second is only
You're
Panhandling.
good.
Good.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I know you're a rookie, Randy. Okay, we have a motion and a
And a
second
second.
for a roll call vote. Ms. Fowler, would you read the roll call?
Roll call vote for the second substitute, 1726. Councilmember Varner,
Aye.
Vice President Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Vorty,
Aye.
Councilmember Furlick,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Preston,
Aye.
Councilmember Kelly,
Aye.
Councilmember Broden,
Aye.
Councilmember Scott, President Scott.
What was that?
Mr. Scott.
Me?
Yes.
We're voting on it now, the second substitute. This is now where we
That would be an aye.
Thank you.
9 ayes.
Thank you. And moving on. 1729, please.
All right. 1729, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, approving the issuance of scrap metal junk dealers recycling operations license for the calendar year 2017 pursuant to Section 4-51 of the South Bend Municipal Code.
Is there a committee report?
Yes, the Health and Public Safety Committee met today and recommended that this be favorably.
Thank you. Is there a presenter? Name and address, miss.
Karima Fowler, South Bend City Clerk, once more. This is procedural. This is a resolution. The actual scrap metal license were approved for all other 13 entities about a month ago. This is a straggler. The gentleman thought he changed his operation slightly and thought that he did not need the scrap metal license, but he found out later on that he did, so he's just renewing. He actually had a license last year. It's all been approved by code enforcement, the police department, and the fire department.
Thank you. Any questions from council for the presenter? Thank you. Seeing none, we'll open up to the public. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of 1729, please come to the podium. Seeing none, anyone wishing to speak against 1729, please come to the podium. Seeing none, we'll turn it back to council.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
See, Randy, you got me off.
Really?
I'm not taking.
Thank you.
Now we need a roll call, Ms. Bauer.
All right. Vice President Davis.
Aye.
Councilmember Vorty.
Aye.
Councilmember Furlick.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Councilmember Preston.
Aye.
Councilmember Kelly.
Aye.
Councilmember Broden.
Aye.
Councilmember Varner.
Aye.
President Scott.
Aye.
9 ayes.
Thank you. 1730, please.
President Scott, I would like to make a motion that for the purpose of public hearing, to be able to hear Resolution 1729, 30, and 31 together.
Second.
Hold on a minute. I don't think we can.
You can, you
Yeah.
can, you can hear them.
For hearing, but vote will separate.
Yeah, vote
Okay.
will be separate.
There was a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Is there a representative? Please state your name and address and a very efficient presentation of each item.
Do I have to read these?
Oh, committee report.
Yes, Krima needs to read them first.
Read them
and
and then
then
committee report.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Muller.
Sir. 1730, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, approving lease and parking lot located at 214-216 West Wayne Street. 1731, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, approving of a lease of building located at 523 East Jefferson Boulevard. And 1732, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, approving lease of community room located at 211 East St. Peter Street, South Bend, Indiana, 46617.
Thank you. Is there a committee report?
Yes, the Personnel and Finance Committee held a committee meeting and public hearing on Resolution 1730, 1731, and 1732. We send these three resolutions to the council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you. Is there a presenter now?
Thank you, Council. Michael Schmidt, Assistant City Attorney, work on the 12th floor of this building. I come before you following Indiana Statute 36-1-10-7, which requires council approval via resolution of leases that the city enters into for structures or parking lots. Parking lots is part of that definition of a structure. In your packet, I believe that you have a copy, or maybe it's part of the resolution, of 50 signatures of taxpayers in the city of South Bend who support these leases. That is also a requirement of the statute. Very quickly here, the first of the three leases the first one is with Mary Coyne Investments, LLC. It's for additional parking spaces for the City of South Bend employees. There are currently 130 employees in the City of South Bend in this building. We have approximately 50 or so parking spaces at the lot that we refer to as the Shillings lot. This lease is for $1,400 a month and will provide the additional 70 parking spaces necessary for the city staff. There's relatively low ongoing maintenance. We have no real liabilities as far as infrastructure.
Okay.
It's a 5-year term. So if the city wishes to renew the lease after 5 years, we'll be back in front of you with another set of approving signatures supporting this lease agreement. Do you want to take questions?
Any questions right now? Nope. Okay, go ahead. 31.
The second lease is a lease agreement with Carrie Groman Shine, which I believe is now, that was the predecessor, I believe it's now Shine Realty LLC. This is for space at 125 South Hill Street in South Bend. This is between the city and Shine Realty. This is really kind of a unique lease in that it's a partnership with the ATF Disarm Task Force. The fee for the lease is for $10,175 for the year, but all of that money is reimbursed from the ATF itself. The city has no financial responsibility for the fee. It just makes the payment and then gets reimbursed by the ATF. This has been a lease agreement that we've had in place in the past.
Any questions from council? Nope. 32, please.
The third lease is between the City of South Bend, Venues, Parks, and Arts, and Zion United Church of Christ. As has been a subject of much discussion, all the activities going on at the Parks Department, in particular Howard Park. This involved disruption to the facility that housed the Parks Department's Senior Citizen Activity Center. In the spirit of trying to maintain continuity to this program and consistency for folks that have utilized this program for a number of years, the Parks Department worked with Zion Church, which is right across the street there, to utilize their community room to provide these services. The fee for this is $100 a month. Again, very little responsibility and liability of the city on this. This lease will end in March 31st, 2019, which is the expected date for when the facility, the senior center, will be rebuilt at Howard Park.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from council?
Just a comment.
Let's hold after public. We'll bring it back to council.
Okay.
Anyone wishing to speak in favor of 17, 30, 31, or 32, please come to the podium. Seeing none, anyone wishing to speak against 30, 31, and 32, please come to the podium. Seeing none, we'll turn back to council for comments.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I would like to thank you for bringing this before the council like we shared this afternoon. You helped to bring clarity by including the council into this decision, especially when it came to the park decision and everything else. So in the future, I would encourage you to continue to do that. And it gives you better support and it gives us a clear understanding of what's going on, and it helps build communication between all facets of our government, which I really appreciate. So I want to again thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Broden.
Just quickly comment, Venue Parks and Arts and your staff working so hard to get something so convenient for seniors with regard to the lease at Zion United. And as the council member from that district, I want to also take the opportunity to assure our seniors that it is a fully accessible building, which may be missed by some folks. And not only is it the building itself, but ample parking and indeed more space for our park and our activities of our seniors. So just to make sure that that's out there. And then last but not least, to thank Zion Church for the generous lease terms that this offers.
And for council's benefit, I should have added that that it can always, we looked in and researched that there are no issues. It's called the lemon test, but council should be assured that there are no violations of the city entering into an agreement with a religious organization. There's no furthering of that religious community there. It's just strictly straight up lease, no strings attached. And Councilwoman, to your point as well, the Zion Church is in charge of plowing and clearing the walkways. However, we built into the lease the freedom to go in there and supplement those services so that we could quickly address something with our own staff, knowing the sensitivities of the group that's going to be using that, because we wanted to make sure that the same protections that we had with our own facility, we could make sure that we could go in and do that as far as ice or snow to get from the parking lot to the actual community room. So we have that flexibility. It's not our responsibility, but we have that flexibility to get in there and do that.
That's cool.
It's a nice partnership. Last question, I think in your remarks with the ATF lease, do we have in the ordinance the correct parties to the lease? Did you say?
Yes, it should be
We
on
need
the
to amend
resolution.
that.
It should be Shine Realty LLC. They actually changed their entity on me a couple of days before we got Public Works approval
So do
for
we
it.
need to amend that then? In our, I don't want you to have to come back again.
What's that?
The cover letter.
I believe
I'm
it's
just,
correct.
I want this done.
Where's the resolution? The caption doesn't need to be doesn't need to be changed.
No, it's in the cover letter, I believe. If you- In the cover, yeah, in the cover letter.
Correct the reference.
I don't have the actual lease or the letter that I submitted in front of me.
It's in your packet.
If you want to go ahead and take the vote on the first, on the
I will entertain a
30
motion
and
for
30.
1730 only.
Motion to adopt.
Second. Ms. Fowler, roll call, please.
Councilmember Vorty,
Aye.
Councilmember Furlick,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Preston,
Aye.
Councilmember Kelly,
Aye.
Councilmember Broden,
Aye.
Councilmember Varner,
Aye.
Vice President Davis,
Aye.
President Scott.
Aye.
9 ayes.
Thank you. Entertain a motion on 1731.
Move for the adoption of resolution 17.
Second.
Councilmember,
You would want 32. I think we're looking at 31 to check.
Okay. Let's,
Okay.
We haven't done 30 yet.
no, let's move to 32 and we'll come back.
Okay.
Entertain a motion on 32.
Motion to adopt 1732.
Second.
Ms. Fowler?
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Preston,
Aye.
Councilmember Kelly,
Aye.
Councilmember Broden,
Aye.
Councilmember Varner,
Aye.
Vice President Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Vorty,
Aye.
Councilmember Furlick,
Aye.
President Scott.
Aye.
9 ayes.
So the resolution
Where's the-
31
where's
says
the-
Shine
can we
Realty
get the
LLC
regular,
in the body.
In the body of the resolution.
Yes.
The regular filing with the cover
There's
sheet.
the copy of the fact.
That's what it should be. That is the entity, Shine Realty.
There's
Correct.
a copy of the actual lease agreement too.
We good.
It should have been in the packet.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll again entertain a
Sorry,
motion
Shine
for
Realty
1731.
Motion to adopt 1732.
Second.
Ms. Fowler?
Councilmember Furlick,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Preston,
Aye.
Councilmember Kelly,
Aye.
Councilmember Broden,
Aye.
Councilmember Varner,
Aye.
Vice President Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Vorty,
Aye.
President Scott.
Aye.
9 ayes.
Thank you. These resolutions are going to be coming around to council signed before you leave, and then pass them back to me, please.
Thank you.
We'll move to bills and first reading. 3317, Ms. Fowler.
3317, first reading on an ordinance, amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 1709 West Lincoln Way, Councilmanic District Number 2 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Motion to send to zoning and annexation for 626.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. 3417.
3417, first reading on an ordinance, amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 4640 South Michigan Street, 237, 305, and 313 Reeser Street, 4637, 4601, 4707, and vacant parcel south and adjacent to 4707 Fellow Street, Councilmanic District Number 5 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Motion to send to zoning and annexation for 626.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. 3517.
3517, first reading on an ordinance to vacate the following described property, east-west alley from Park Avenue to First North-South Alley between Mantu and Riverside.
I move 3517, go to Public Works and Property Vacation. Second, third reading on 626.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. 3617.
3617, first reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana for budget transfers for various departments within the City of South Bend, Indiana for the year 2017.
Motion to send to personnel and finance for 626.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. 3717.
3717, first reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, appropriating additional funds for certain departmental and city service operations in 2017 of $40,000 from Parks Fund 201, $200,000 from the Motor Vehicle Highway Fund 202, $100,000 from DCI Operating Fund 211, $3,000 from Gift, Donation, and Bequest Fund 217, $125,000 from Local Roads and Street Funds 251, $28,000 from the Indiana River Rescue Fund 291, $285,000 from the Parks Capital Fund 405, $295,000 from the Morris Performing Arts Capital Fund 416, and $1,000 from the Erskine Village Bond Fund 758.
Motion to send to Personnel and Finance for 626.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. 3817.
3817, first reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, appropriating additional funds for certain departmental and enterprise operations in 2017 of $891,089 from the EMS Capital Fund, number 287.
Motion to send to Personnel and Finance for 626.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Is there any unfinished business? Seeing none, any new business?
Just, again, Ms. Angela Smith brought that text resolution to us today. And if anybody wants to join me in being a sponsor working with it, I'm open to it.
Okay. June 14th at the Near Northwest Neighborhood Association, 6:30, will be more discussion on duck ponds in Looper Park. Also, I'd like to note that the state FOP state meeting is here in South Bend, and there will be some national FOP members here as well. There's about 300 people in South Bend for the next week. So that's a good thing for our city. Any other new business? Yes, Ms.
I don't know if this is new business, but I would like to see how we as a council, when our citizens, when they come before us, which is not a lot of citizens, and they may share certain concerns, how best can we respond? Because it's come to my attention that some of our citizens, they believe it's a waste of time coming to the council because we don't respond to them. Certain things we can't because it's not under the council authority, but I'm just thinking about how can we make sure when individuals come to the council, we can at least respond back to them. It could be a call, it could be sent to a certain committee, and I think it's important that we, do that. So I'll get with you and others to see how best we can do that.
All right.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Is there anything else? Seeing none. That will open up to the privilege of the floor. This is where citizens can talk to the Common Council. You have 3 minutes. You need to state your name and address. The time limit on this entire process is 30 minutes, and you cannot mention anything that is on the current agenda or was mentioned here tonight. With that, anybody, please come to the podium.
Sharon Benecke, 3822 Ford Street. I just want to take a moment to thank the department heads and the council member that showed up on Mayor's Night Out over at Harrison School. Got a chance to talk to different department heads. It was in a laid-back, casual, non-confrontational manner. I found most of the department heads approachable, and it was really enjoyable. I'd like you to know that I've been working with Ed and Randy, both from Code Enforcement, and have found it to be very satisfying. I think they're to be commended on the way they work with and for the city. I appreciate them, and I want everybody to know that I appreciate them and everything that they're doing. And that's it.
Thank you for those comments.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fun.
Anyone else wishing to speak at privilege of the floor?
Jesse Davis, P.O. Box 10205, South Bend, Indiana. We've been here, got years. People have come up here and talked about a lot of things going on in the city. Many, many things we don't seem to get any resolutions to, honest resolutions. Kind of, as we call it, getting swept under the rug. We had a lot of issues concerning, police department, things going on there. There's still a lot of things going on over there that are concerning to the public. There was a lot of talk about wanting a citizens review board, another thing that just kind of fell by the wayside. So I know a lot of you see what goes on social media, whether it's on the community activist pages or wherever. Citizens still do not have any trust, any faith, any confidence in the way things are handled through our Board of Public Safety when it comes to officers possibly being reprimanded for wrongdoing, things of that nature. There's still a lot of people that want to see a citizens review board, and they've come here many times and said, hey, look, what can we do, what can we do to get this launched? And that's something that still needs to be looked into. Many people have no clue what goes on behind closed doors in our police department. I'm assuming some of you still have students in our school system here. People are clueless to what's going on in the school systems. If you saw the messages that have been recently sent to me, the videos that have been recently sent to me of the goings on in our South Bend schools, it's sickening. And guess what? Nobody hears about it. It all comes through anonymously. So, you know, when you've got things being covered up like teachers having sex with students, you've got students hazing other students by putting their fingers in their rectums, and they're not punished. They're allowed to transfer to another school in a different county so they can finish their sporting careers. This is stuff the public should know. The parents who have schools in these schools, children in these schools, should know what's going on in these schools. And this stuff has just been put in a closet and locked away. I saw 2 videos in the last month of 10, 15 students fighting at schools. The stuff you guys see occasionally on the news from YouTube. But here in South Bend,
30 seconds.
and they're just beating the hell out of each other. Nobody is even aware of this stuff. If you guys really care about our city, we need to get on top of the police, what's going on there. The attitude is the council has no control over them. I understand that. So that's why we want a citizens review board. And we need to make sure that we know what's going on in our school system and in our local schools where our children are supposed to be safe and they're not.
Thank you. Next, name and address.
Jason Benigni Critchlow, 3822 West 4th Street, South Bend, Indiana. Just the other day I was flipping online and I saw a story from WSBT.com about our dispatch consortium and their undying need for more people. As someone who worked at the county jail for 5.5 years and routinely had to work 3 to 4 mandatory overtime shifts a week, I am well aware of the kind of toll that takes on your mental psyche when you're not able to get off work when you're expecting to, when you're not able to have your days off that you're expecting to, when you just can't have any work-life balance. You know, I understand there are some new technologies getting ready to come on that will make their jobs a little bit easier there, but when they're understaffed by 14 people, it shouldn't be a let's wait and see till next year on if we can increase that staffing number for them or not. Because all that it does is the same thing it's done at the county jail for years, is just increase your attrition, your turnover, and then you're spending even more money to bring in new employees who are less qualified and less trained. And these are some of the people, particularly in the dispatch center, who are the first contact for the public when they're dealing with some of the worst incidences that our city has to deal with. They don't get to choose who they deal with or how they deal with them, but they're the very first point of contact for the public. And unfortunately, it seems we always have money when the mayor needs raises for his people. But somehow we don't have raises for money for the raises or for to hire new people when it's time for the guys at the very bottom of the totem pole. But yet, these people at the bottom of this totem pole are the most important to keep our community safe. These are the people who are the voice of the ear of every police officer and every firefighter when they're out there on the roads. They shouldn't be treated as just a line item or a wait and see. We know that the consortium has not gone well. When we rushed into it at the last minute because everybody had to drag their feet on it, it caused a ton of problems. It's been way over budget. But if we have to let one executive director go of something to get 2 new dispatchers out there, that needs to happen. Because quite frankly, they're more important to me than any of these executive directors we have sitting in this building that are taking up a lot of salary and a lot of benefits that aren't keeping our city safe, that aren't turning around our quality of life.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, entertain a motion to,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
I'm gonna take this another response of the county council.
We good? Everybody else?
Thank you. You made it through your first meeting.
I'll see you.
Yeah.
signed your sale again.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, everybody have a nice rest of the week.
Thinking of it, yeah.
Angela, sorry I butchered your name.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll do what you want. Are you around this week? Okay. Seriously? Okay. You're all done? Thanks, Al.
That's right. That was Bob, you made it.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Al.
As she has all the money. Thank you, Aldi, very much.
You survived?
And welcome.
Thank you so much. It was so important. Well, you can come back anytime. If it was that much fun. Honestly, thank you.
Well, welcome.
Not yet 9, and you're letting us out?
Yeah, don't get used to it.
Think of it as college, you're
Just
just
kidding.
early.
Just kidding.
You're quite welcome.
Good night.
Good?
I am.
All right.
I feel very
All right.
Good.
Well, I'll talk to you probably tomorrow. We'll figure out a time to sit down and talk.
okay.
All right? Thanks. Thanks, Greg.
Did you come up with hours, or are you kind of still